Where does money come from?
Work.
That is kind of true. Yeah. Win. Really do a good job. Wow, look, I got one.
Easy peasy.
Do you know what money is?
Something that you can buy stuff with.
That's right.
Save.
Save it? Wow, definitely one. That's the best answer.
Every parent wants to provide their children with the best, but how do we ensure that our children do not take things for granted? Here are some tips.
My name is Milan. I'm a tech entrepreneur. And this is my oldest son, Louis.
How old are you, Louis?
6.
Wow. And Milan, tell us a little bit about how your experience with money growing up.
I grew up in a village in Germany, so my upbringing was very different to his upbringing. It was a very different environment. And my parents were fairly strict with money. They did pay for university, which was I'm very grateful for. That allowed me to get an education. But after that, I pretty quickly realized that you have to work for money, which I think is probably the biggest lesson my parents imparted in me.
Are there any particular challenges that you see around money that are concerns to you today when you think about how to educate Louis?
Yeah, I think there's two at two ends of the spectrum. I think one is that you don't want to spoil them. So I think that's one key thing that I'm really trying to avoid. It's actually kind of the easy choice to say, okay, here's your toy. It requires a conscious effort.
It's a big thing also for parents because parents constantly want to give the best to their children from time to time, right? But the question is how? How do we actually not spoil our children?
Yes, please give me some tips.
Yeah.
If you have any, I'd love to learn.
Yeah, I think one thing is around gratitude. There's something that the family can actually do together. Perhaps even before you go to bed, or even at the dinner table, little things that we can be grateful for. But it can be, I'm grateful that I have food, that we have family, we have friends.
We are very lucky that we live in a nice country, right?
The second thing I would say also is managing expectations. Because there are days where daddy will have to say, no, we can't buy it. And then explaining why this is so. Helping a child work through disappointment sometimes is actually not a bad thing.
Okay.
And the third thing that I would say is a lot of times when parents spoil their children, it may be out of their own personal emotions. That they may be slightly guilty, or they may actually feel a different way and they want to provide more for their children. So I would say, parents will have to moderate their own financial, emotional decisions too.
Yes.
So Milan, what's one of the most important things that you'd like Louis to learn?
But I think for that, the important part is to, on one hand, to help him realize that money doesn't come easy, but also that it doesn't have to come too hard. So sort of looking at money as a I think you said before, tool. And I think money is a tool in many ways. And for him to be money smart, basically. Do you have any tips for parents like me with young children, teaching children about money early?
Absolutely. When we see our palms like this, Louis, the save, earn, give, spend, and invest. We can begin to think about money in a holistic way. That it's not just only spending, but we can earn it, as Daddy was saying, and then you can save it, and then you can give it too.
I know he wants to be a YouTuber, and I've explained to him before that if you want to be a YouTuber, you have to be the best of the best to really make a lot of money. So I have that conversation with him, but I'm not sure how much should you have that conversation with children that age? Are there thoughts about this in psychology?
Yeah. I mean, the first is that you end up becoming the role model in the family. Because the way you execute your job as an entrepreneur, the way you are as an entrepreneur, he will be wondering, what does daddy do? So communicating your sense of passion in what you do is one. But the other thing that I see also is what is the need in the world? We may end up needing to work for a more stable job. But in other circumstances, that's where we can actually explore our passions and be entrepreneurial.
Yes, true. That's good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Louis and Milan, for your time today.
High five, buddy. Yeah. Certainly, I'm thinking more about how to teach my kids gratitude about what they have, especially the little things like having food on the table, because I guess not everybody in the world has that all the time, and we are blessed that way, and we should appreciate that and impart that appreciation onto our children. I think it's important that we teach our children values around money As well as that, if you work hard and if you combine your passion with effort, everybody can be financially independent and successful on their own rights.
In collaboration with Playmula and eSpring Investments, we help parents with money parenting. Do it right together.